Limits. Here we have the curve x squared minus 4, and we are looking for the limit as x goes to 3. So x is 3 is here. So we're looking at what value does the function have as it gets really close to 3. So one way we can think of this is if we have a circle centered around with its center on x equals 3, the limit would be the y value such that no matter how small you make the circle, there is always going to be some amount of the function inside of it. So the function doesn't have to equal this value at x equals 3. It just has to approach the value as you get close to x equals 3. So in this case, the limit as x approaches 3 of this function would be 5, because as x approaches 3, you can see that the function gets real close to 5. And no matter how close you get, you zoom into it, from this side it approaches 5, and from the other side it starts to approach 5. And if you were to plug in the value of 3 into x squared minus 4, you would see that in this case, yes, the function is actually 5 at this value. A function is continuous, so basically if it looks like it's approaching a value, it is. So in this case, you can see that there is no restrictions on the domain for f of x is x plus 4. There's nothing weird going on with 1 over x, maybe 0's not in there. It's just a normal line. So if we look at the limit as x approaches 6, which would be at this point, we can see that it's getting closer and closer to the value of 10. And on this side, when you go down the line, it gets closer and closer to the value of 10. And if you were to plug in 6 in for x, f of 6 is 6 plus 4, which is 10. So in this case, the limit as x approaches 6 of the function x plus 4 would be 10. If we look at this function, and we were to say, find the limit here, we could look and say, sine function. This is the sine function, and if we look, the function looks like it's getting closer and closer to the value of 6 for the limit as x approaches 10. And if we go from this side, it looks like the function is getting closer and closer to the value of 6 for x approaches 10. And if we were to look at the function and we were to put 10 in for here, and so we would get 10 pi over 4, which is 5 pi over 2. So that would give you it would give you 6 if you were to plug that into there. And just another function. This one doesn't give you nice values for what the limit would be, but if we were to look at, say, the limit as x approaches like 3, the limit would be about, well, the limit would be whatever this value is, because you can see that the function is approaching that value from this way, and it's approaching that value from this way. So it would be around 1.3 is what the limit would be as of this function as x approaches 3.